Hello traders. In this lesson we will talk about divergences. Divergence is a deviation of the oscillator's movement from the price movement. If we follow the price movement and the oscillator movement, we can say that their movements are very similar. For example, this bottom here corresponds to this bottom here. This top corresponds to this top here. This top to this one here, and so on. I still pay attention to these two bottoms on the chart. The price shows a lower bottom than the previous one, but what does the indicator show? The indicator on its chart shows a higher bottom than the previous one. This is the airside oscillator, so we have a deviation over the airside oscillator in relation to the price movement. Such situations on the graph are called divergences, since divergences are only observed in the overbought and oversold zone. Do not pay attention to such deviation if they occur in the neutral zone, but only observe this upper overbought and lower oversold zone. Since this divergence occurred in the oversold zone, it provides us with buy signals, and this divergence is called bullish divergence. In addition to bullish divergence, there's also bearish divergence. It appears in the overbought zone and provides us with sell signals. We have the situation, right? After the bullish divergence, divergences do not occur so often. But I was able to find an example where two divergences appeared in a very short period of time. What happened here? Look at this top here. It fits to this top here. This one here fits to this one here. We see that the price on the graph makes a higher peak than this previous one, while the oscillator shows a lower peak compared to the previous one. That means we found a divergence. Since the divergence is in the overbought zone, it gives us sell signals, and that is a bearish divergence. I will advise you to never go into sell or buy positions if the indicator is in the overbought or oversold zone, but it is much better to look for divergences. So when you are looking at the indicator and when you see that the price on the chart has already made a higher peak than the previous one, but the oscillator does not show that in its moment, then pay attention, as there is a chance of a reversal in the direction of the price movement. As you can see, a huge jump happened after this bullish divergence. Also, after this bearish divergence, there was a huge fall. Divergence also occurs on other oscillators like stochastic and magned indicator. Now I will turn on the stochastic indicator. Look, we have a similar situation. The price makes a higher peak on the chart, but the stochastic indicator shows a lower peak than the previous one. We also have that here. Now I'm going to include the MACD indicator tool. We see the same situation, a lower peak compared to the previous one. While here we see a higher peak compared to the previous one. Now I want to draw your attention to one important thing. Many traders make a mistake. Think that more indicators will give them stronger signals to enter buy or sell positions. It's a mistake. What do many beginners do? They turn on, for example, the error sign indicator and find the divergence on the chart. So this is some first signal to enter a bid position in this example, as it is a bullish divergence, and after that's what traders do. They turn on another indicator, for example stochastic, and see that it also shows divergence and mark it as another signal to enter the bid position. Then they turn on the magnet indicator and see that it also shows divergence and mark it as a third signal to enter the bid position. That's a huge mistake. The oscillators are very similar and provide almost the same signals. So in this situation, we do not have three signals to enter the bid position, but only one, which means that there is no need to use all these three indicators. I have seen some traders who use 4 or 5 indicators at the same time. I'm sure that this is totally unnecessary. If you're using oscillators, choose one of these 3. I only use the RSI indicator. Okay, let me remove these 2. How will I do this? Control button and the letter I. And a list of indicators will open. Maggie, delete, stochastic delete, close. Okay, I hope everything was clear to you. Now, let's summarize. You should only pay attention to divergences when the indicator or oscillator is in the overbuilt or oversold zone. Divergence is a situation where the price shows a lower bottom than the previous one, but the oscillators shows a higher bottom than the previous one. Such situations on the graph are called bullish divergence, when we see a higher peak on the graph than the previous one. But the indicator shows a lower peak than the previous one. It's a bearish divergence. Bearish divergence gives us sell signals. Bullish divergence gives us signals to buy. In addition to the term divergence, there is also the concept of hidden or false divergence. So, in the next lesson, I will show you how to recognize hidden diversions, because they can confuse you and give you wrong signals, which can lead to unnecessary losses. See you next lesson.